원, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉. 구십구, 백. 하나, 구십, 아홉, 구십구, 한바. 볼이 좀 가려주실래요?
분위기 살려 어머 사람 살려 Let's give it up, live it up, baby. 나른나와 나 밟아내 세상이 나를 뭐라 판단해도 그냥 사는 거야 생긴 대로 나 밟아지를 입고서 짝다리를 짚고서 한쪽 다리를 떨면서 건들건들거리면서 멋지진 않지만 가끔 멋지진 않아 웃긴 놈이지만 우습지 않지나 맛이 안 가지 나 원래 먹은 놈이니까 얼굴 두껍지만 지갑도 두껍지 나 내 신발은 광이 나지 내 여자는 쌈박하지 내 어깨 뽕 들어가지 내 바지는 나팔바지 나팔바지 나팔라팔라팔 나팔바지 나팔라팔라팔 밤새 몰라요 아무도 못 말려 Everybody 날라래 들판에 분위기 살려 어머 사람 살려 Let's give it up, live it up, baby 나른나와 나팔바지
네, 여러분 틀을 깨는 무대로 대중과 호흡하는
So let me introduce artist AHN Eun-me, modern dancer and choreographer. Let's give her a big hand.
안녕하세요, 여러분.
Hello everyone.
춤추면서 살고 있는
I am AHN Eun-me and I am dancing through life every day, and the performance that you just saw usually lasts for an hour, but I reduced it for the SBS Digital Forum, and in 2017 it's a work that I titled 대심 Dance. And I wanted different bodies to dance together, and that was the starting point. And the year before, in 2016, I developed 안심 dance with the visually impaired, and I also created 대심 dance with the growth impairment dancers. And then you saw 주성인, a dancer, and it's a 1 minute 59-second dance that he created, and I'm sure that you are amazed when you watched him dance, because we have different bodies that are dancing, and they are creating their own language through their dance movements. And when I studied dance when I was young, with my eyes, I look at the difficult techniques. You have to stretch a lot, and it's painful. And then we see beautiful dance movements, and we love them. And you know that in schools, we don't teach dance. When we use our bodies, it's considered to be very non-intellectual, and we focus more on humanity studies, and we take exams and tests for other subjects, but not for dance. But our body is our house. It's where my spirit lives. It's where my life lives. And my body, follows my command. And the actions that my body takes is communicating with the outer world. And so we have to invest in our bodies because it's my house. And this space, when we meet another space, which is another body, we have to know how to communicate, and we have to communicate through a second language that uses a lot of imagination, which is dance. It's the language of dance. And it's not just communicating at a simple level, but it's looking inside oneself to express what we feel through our bodies. And our bodies can become even weapons. We discover the weapon, which is my body, and through which we communicate. And so you must take care of your bodies. And people ask me, how can you, dance with the visually impaired? Well, we didn't know how to. We wanted to share our language with the visually impaired and dance together with them. So we learn from them, and they learn from us. And by creating a dance together, we were able to create the most beautiful dance, which is the slowest dance on earth. And the dancers who have growth impairment, they are very short. They are not tall. And so we have to find and devise movements that can help them. Because they are short, how do they use space? They have to fill up the space differently. They have to jump 3 times higher, and they have to develop their muscles more in order to fill up the space. And they use their bodies in a very muscular way, and they're very flexible. And even when they fall, they are not injured because they know how to land in a very safe way. This is how they protected their bodies, through their muscle building. And so we have to develop our own muscles by listening to what our bodies need. And usually, our bodies are not flexible, and I'm sure you feel that too, because when we live in a society, in a state, we need to follow some rules. What is this? Some rules to, follow to be disciplined. If we don't follow the rules, then we will bump into each other. And because of these rules, if these rules continue for a long time, it becomes very complicated. It was simple when we had 10 people living on Earth, but when we have rules for 100 people, it becomes very complicated. And our bodies have to know the rules, but we cannot because there are too many. And so we are told not to dance in school, and men are told not to dance because it's frivolous. And usually mothers tell their sons not to dance. And when I wanted to study dance, my mother said, I don't like that type of dance. It's for other types of people. That was 30 years ago. 30 years ago, during Korea's economic growth, dance was considered to be a bad thing. It was not intellectual. It was not, something that was respected. And now, times have changed. Now, if you can't dance, you can't sing, and dance is valued more and more. The dance that we see can be beautiful and it can be a feast for our eyes, but it will not really help me. You see the difficult techniques, the body moving in different ways and stretching. But we don't need to dance these difficult moves in our daily life. And as we grow older, people, tend to move less than the young people. And there's a gap that appears in terms of dance. And I wanted to fill that gap. I wanted to make people understand that dance is easy, and dance is not something that we see and watch, but we need to create our body movements ourselves. In order to do that, we have to study and carry out research. And I wondered how I could convey this message to you. I accepted to speak at the SBS Digital Forum because I wanted to introduce you to the world of dance, and I wanted to give you information and show you what dance really is. So I worked with the people who are disabled and people who are not disabled. And the surprising thing is that we can discover how beautiful our bodies are. And one thing enabled me to discover this. As a professional dancer, I learn about difficult techniques. I study at school, and I learn how to become a good artist. But one day, I remembered one of the dances that my mother used to dance. The dance moves that my mother used to dance when she was having fun, when she wanted to go crazy. And while thinking about these dance moves, I realized that it could be a part of history. I mean, there has been no research on the history of dance because our mothers were not really educated. They never really studied dance. They were too busy raising their children. And so mothers, when they danced, I mean, they just remember it through memory, and it's in their mind, and it's like an encyclopedia that they have in their minds. And I went around Korea to try to collect their stories, and I asked these old ladies to do a dance move for me. And usually they would say, well, I'm not really a professional dancer, and I'm not sure whether I can, but I told them that their dance was a part of history and that they needed to show me their dances. And so I, recorded their different dance moves, and I was right. All the women in Korea have different bodies. Some have longer arms. Some are very flexible, so they're very quick, and other mothers who I interviewed and recorded, just laughed because they thought it was very comic. And so everybody was really different. In any case, I discovered this universe of new bodies, different bodies, and these dancers were not professional dancers. They were dancers that were ordinary people, and I realized that even their dance moves could be really beautiful. It took me some time to learn about this. I met these women in 2010, and I recorded their dances, and then I met with young people in Korea to make a record and created another dance. And I wanted to work with men, middle-aged men in Korea to work on a project. 아저씨 is a word for middle-aged men in Korea. So I went around Korea looking for these 아저씨 in order to create a dance and record their dance moves. I think that with time, we will be able to create an encyclopedia of the chronicles of Korean dance by gender and by age in the 21st century. When I ask people to dance, some people can say, "Oh, I'm not a good dancer. I don't have that sense of rhythm." But that's okay. You just need to use your right foot and left foot in any case. Usually, if you look at Asian dances, they have many different movements, and it's very complicated. But Korean dance is very simple. If you look at Korean mass dances, you just use left arm, right arm, you just sit down, and then you stand up, and that's it. And the steps are really simple, and when it is accompanied by music, it sounds great. And for royal dancers, you just go down, and then you move north-south, and then west-east, and then you just stand up. And you must hide your face from the king. The language of dance, why is it still surviving in these times? It's because it has a very important message to convey. And there's one more important thing I need to say before I teach you how to dance. I was talking to a historian, and she told me something very important. She asked me, "What is dance for you?" And I said, "Dance is this and that." And the historian said, "What do you do when you work?" "This is how I work. This is how I work." And the dance movements, in what direction do they move? This is very philosophical, so you have to memorize it. I'm going to do a test later on. Mostly when we work like this. We move our arms and most of labor, whether it's farmers or when we take care of our children, this is how we use our arms and labor. But our ancestors used our arms like this. They opened it wide. They spread their arms wide open. To whom? Towards heaven and toward myself. I opened up my arms to others. And so I opened up my arms towards heaven, and I danced in the moonlight in order to be re-energized. Because I opened up my arms to get this energy. When I close my arms and don't use my muscle, my body stiffens. And when my body stiffens, my mind stiffens and my brain stiffens. So you have to make your body flexible through dance. Move your right foot and then your left foot. And when we walk like this, what do you call this in English? When we walk like this in English, this is what? What type of dance is this? Louder. It's a step, yes. But what step? It's one step or two steps? It's one step. It's right foot, left foot, and this is one step. Two steps is when we use the right foot twice. 2, 1, 2. That's very confusing. And what do we do with the next foot? We have to use the left foot. So it's 2 step, 1 step. What foot do we need to use? It's the right foot. And then it's 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2. Anyway, you have learned everything you needed to learn about dance in Korea. It's right foot, left foot, and when the rhythm gets faster, you use your hips, and when you use your body like this, it doesn't look nice, and then if you smile, then it's a positive dance, and if you look angry, it's an angry dance. And then it's 1, 2, 2-step. In Korean dance, the difficult part is the 2-step dance. When you watch TV and when you watch dances that you like, do you check to see how many times the steps are used in the right and left foot? What about the arms? We have the right arm and the left arm. Thankfully, we have only 2 arms. If we had 3 arms, that would be complicated. Raise your hands, everyone, like this. And you move to the right, you move to the left, right, left, right, left, right, left. That's it. And then with your elbows, you bend your elbows like this, like this. In turn, now you've learned everything, and you just need to practice this once you go home. And the makchum that I talked about is dancing your muscles to the rhythm that you hear. And you don't need to be embarrassed. And if you're embarrassed, just dance in the dark. That's why we go to nightclubs, because we want to dance in the dark, and then we close our eyes because we're too embarrassed about people watching us. But don't be embarrassed, because dance is a new language, and it's an important language that will give you new life. I say dance is another language because the verbal language has its rules. And when we say pop, then we visualize what that is. But dance is very abstract, and it's very different. We express, rice and different types of fruit in a different way when we try to translate the words through our bodies through dance. And you have to create your own language, and sometimes you have to immerse yourself in your own world. 5 minutes every day is enough. Just immerse yourself in your world, dance like crazy, and then, come out of that world. That's okay. That's your own space. The dance that I'm talking about is not a dance that is complicated. You just need to use both your legs and both your arms to be happy. And if you smile while doing it, you can communicate with the other person, and it's free, which is even better. I mean, do I need to, pay money to move my body? No. I mean, I can move my body, and, bend it according to the direction of the wind. And once I move it in whatever way, I will meet someone. And once I meet someone, we can even dance together. And it doesn't matter what type of dance it is. And we have to recognize the other person's dance with our eyes. And that is makchum. I'm going to show you a video of the different dances that I recorded. And I'd like to show you how people are expressing themselves through their dances.
보이세요? 제가 네, 이 작품은 아저씨.
So this is the dance that I created with the middle-aged Korean men theme, and the title is Irresponsibility.
이 작품은 청소년들.
This is the dance that I created with the young people that I mentioned before. The title is Dance Without Agenda. As you saw, the ladies and men and young people who are in these dances, the students are now graduate school students, and I never told them how to dance. I put them up on stage and they danced how they felt like. It was completely free. It was a free dance or whatever dance. Everything was spontaneous. And after they danced, their lives changed, and they were able to meet different languages, different ways of expressing their bodies. And I have some ladies who are here with us today, those ladies that you saw on stage, and they're going to join me up on stage later. Right foot, left foot, right arm, left arm. With these parts of our body, we have to create a new dance, and the language of dance can really help you in your life. And it's to convey the simple message that I am here on stage. And I also took pictures of babies, and I expanded their bodies into gigantic bodies. And, you know, when we look at babies, we see the babies moving their bodies in a very automatic way. And they sway and use their bodies, and as they grow older, they become more self-conscious and they stop moving their bodies in a natural way. So we have to go back to the way we were when we were babies, when everything was spontaneous and natural, and we have to, you know, let our bodies express what we want to express. I think that's how we can use our bodies as weapons in this life. And I will try to make you experience the language of dance. And I'd like to introduce Park Bom-tae, who will be accompanying me with the music.
어서 오세요. 자,
Please come on out.
네, 아는 미 컴퍼니 여러분들.
And the dancers from Eun-me company, could you come out too?
자, 앞으로 나오실래요? 자, 여러분 이제 눈으로 한번 보시고.
Could you move forward and please feast your eyes on the dance? I mean, you are all sitting down for this forum. And we created a dance where you could stand up, sit down, these simple movements. I'm not going to embarrass you by asking you to come up on stage. And you don't have to do this when you return home. You don't have to complicate things. It's really easy. So create your own dance movements and teach it to people next to you. And let's enjoy this together. So right, left, and then you have your main body. And if you just move your knees, then your body will move and your head will move because we are all connected in our bodies. And it's not complicated. I'll show you what you need to do. Let's start. Music cue.
아리라리 스리스리 아라리요 아리랑 고개를 넘어간다.
자, 일어서시는 거 이제.
간다 따라라 따라라디 따라디다. 오른쪽으로 돌고 왼쪽으로
왼팔이에요, 왼팔.
돌고 팔짝팔짝 아리라 아리라 아라리요
Left arm, right arm, let's swing it.
일어서고. 아우 잘하시네요, 박범도 선생님.
Yes, that was great. So we didn't bring chairs up on stage because it's complicated, but we are dancing as if we are going to sit on chairs. Put down your bags on the floor. Nobody's going to take them. Don't be afraid that you'll lose them. So we're going to stand up, sit down, stand and sit. And we will show you our backs so that you can follow more easily. In dance, we start with the right side. We have to get ready and follow the rhythm, and later on you can move as you wish. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you stand up. 1, 2, 3, 4, you sit down, clap. 1, 2, 3, 4, left side, and then you sit down, clap. You repeat.
하나, 둘, 셋, 넷. 앉아서 박수. 끝났어요. 다 외우셨죠? 이거 외우시면 천재예요.
I'm sure you got it. You're all geniuses. So we're going to repeat right, left, 4 times. And then in the traditional Korean dance, this is how we move our hands. We start from the right, left. Right, left. And now you have to stand up from your chairs. Isn't it easy? And you express it the way you can, and then you move towards the right. If you can't do a turn, then do it when you go home. Four times. And then, this is a bit complicated, but we are going to move our shoulders. Just imagine that you have a bug on your shoulder that you want to get rid of. So just think of you getting rid of something. How? Like this, with your thumbs up. Yeah. And you start with the right shoulder and then the left shoulder. So in dance, we always have to use our right side and left side. And dance, you can get different feelings according to the speed in which you dance. This is a bit complicated, but all you need to do is to jump 2 times, standing on your right leg. Anyway, try to practice it when you return home.
따끈따기 절자 덩 따끈따기 덩 따끈따기 덩 뜨기 쉐키 쉐키 덩 따끈따기 덩 어머 쉐키 쉐키 제일 쉬운 거 이제 자
Now the easy part. You have to let the goddess or god inside of you come out with a lot of energy. Don't be shy. And then you sit on the chair and you have to end with the fireworks. We were unable to prepare the fireworks today. That's the end. And dance is really great because it's unlimited. We can continue forever. And we can strengthen our muscles, and you have to continue to do it. 2 minutes is not enough. You have to continue to move your body so that you can create fireworks in your body. So let's try it together. And I would like to invite all the ladies who were in my video to come up on stage to do the final dance together with us on stage. I would like to invite them up on stage, okay? So they have to get ready. We have a fan base already for these ladies. So as soon as we get the music, we will start.
자 음악 주세요.
Okay.
Ready. 일어나세요 이제 다 같이 의자에서 일어나세요.
Stand up, everyone. Stand up.
와 어머님들 일로 와보세요. 어머님들.
I'd like to invite the ladies to come closer. Aren't they great? So let's say hi to the audience. Ladies, come out. Thank you for joining us. So let's continue to dance together. And these ladies are dancing, freely. We haven't really taught them any moves, and that's true for you too. So everyone, you stand up and you sit down and just don't look at us. If you're embarrassed, close your eyes and dance. And I'd like to invite the ladies to dance together with me. And this is your last chance to join the dance. Music, cue.
어머니들 일로 와. 나랑 어머니들 이쪽으로 와요. 예.
하리라 오른쪽 헐스 왼쪽으로 돌아갑니다. 반짝반짝 오른쪽으로 돌아서 반짝반짝 왼쪽으로 돌아서 반짝반짝 다니라 흔들고 쟁고 흔들어주세요. 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 헐스 다리라 박수 따따라따 뽀뽀 따라리라 뽀뽀 다리라 디라라라 디라라라라라라 헤이
예. 자, 오늘 강연 동안 제일 많이 애써주신
I'd like to thank all the dancers and the musicians for helping me during my presentation. And Hyunjun, Chusong, and the musicians, once again, I'd like to thank you. And I'd like to thank the organizers for inviting us today. And dance maybe could look, a bit strange in a forum like this. But actually, it's not. We are about to enter into the 22nd century, and we hope that you'll be able to create the body that you want for the 22nd century, and I wish you a lot of happiness. Goodbye.
가자. 조심히. 들어가세요. 들어갑시다.
Once again, join me in thanking the dancers and Eun-me. I'm sure that everyone had fun, and I never imagined that everybody could be so actively participating. I try to follow the moves, and this is what we call a fantastic stage. You would have been sorry if you didn't join.